Well, good afternoon, good morning, or good evening, depending upon where you are in the world, and welcome to today's Devops.com webinar. I'm Charlene O'Hanlon, moderator for today's event, and I welcome you. As always, we have a great webinar on tap, but before we get started, we do have a few housekeeping items we need to go over. First of all, today's event is being recorded, so if you miss any or all of the event, you will have the opportunity to access it later on. Following today's webinar, we will be sending out an email that contains a link to access the webinar on demand. And we are taking questions from the audience. So if at any time during today's presentation you have a question for our speakers, please don't wait, don't hesitate. Just use your GoToWebinar control panel and submit your question. We'll try to get to as many as we can near the end of today's webinar. Also, at the end of today's webinar, we will be doing a drawing for 4 $25 Amazon gift cards. So please stick around. Hopefully you'll be one of our 4 lucky winners. All right, with that, we'll go ahead and kick off today's webinar, which is how National Bank of Canada evaluated and selected a continuous delivery solution. Our speakers today are Paul Aristide Kendopindi, who is the lead DevOps technical lead for National Bank of Canada, and Steve Burton, who is CMO at Harness. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me. Paul, I know you have a great presentation on tap. I'm going to go ahead and put myself on mute and let you get right into it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. My name is Paul Aristide Kendopindi. I am a DevOps technical lead at National Bank of Canada, and I will talk about how we evaluated a continuous delivery solution here at National Bank. So this is the agenda, and we will go through the topics right away. So who is National Bank of Canada? We are a great bank here in Canada, located in Montreal, and the bank is the 6th largest commercial bank in Canada. So it has a lot of customers, a strong relationship with the customers, and mostly enterprises, and here in Canada, and especially in Quebec. So it's a very, very competitive market, but the bank is very, very well placed, positioned in this market. This is our situation regarding DevOps. We are in the middle of our journey, and we are going through the process of modernizing our DevOps processes, and with this selection, we wanted to find the right tool to help us reach our goal, our target. So the bank is a big organization. We have a lot of departments, a lot of teams, developers, projects, tons of source code. So it's just DevOps is not an option; it's mandatory to increase our productivity. So why choose a CD tool? As I showed you before, we were already using Jenkins mostly for deployment for CI. And we found that for Kubernetes deployment, we needed something more for Kubernetes and cloud, because there are some missing features in Jenkins specifically. So we wanted to find a tool to help us go through more advanced deployment and DevOps features. So we started working on the selection of a new product, and hopefully we had a very strong team in Harness. They came on site to help us for 2 days. For other products, we were trying them from open source projects. We just installed and tried them ourselves. We were able also to try some SaaS products, and this process took almost 3 months because it was the selection, as we will see, was not easy. And we had to find a methodology to organize our selection, because we just wanted to, we didn't want just to select one product. We wanted to try a lot of products to see what are the pros and cons of different products. So we had to organize our team in order to have a successful selection. So there were some criteria, and we had to gather information, test, and make a final selection. Here you can see some of the criteria that were very important for us while we were looking for this continuous delivery tool. And most products we were trying before had 1 or 2 features, or some key features missing. The features in green, for example, were very critical for us. So we wanted a tool that could have those features and plus the others. So it was very important to make sure that the tools had these criteria, these features. So no complexity, advanced security, blue-green deployment, canary, automated rollback, continuous verification, Vault integration. And here you can find the list of the candidates, and we selected those because they were the tools that most people were using, and we wanted to try to make sure we can find our future continuous delivery tool inside those candidates. So Spinnaker came first because it was a tool we knew. We were using it for small projects, and we added some other tools. We were not completely satisfied with Spinnaker also, so we added a few other tools. And as you can see, Harness was in the bottom of our selection because we didn't know about it. We found it during our research, and we added Harness, and we started our selection. First, Elimination, CI tools, or tools with strong CI capabilities and less CD specialization. So those tools were not what we were looking for. We still use some of the tools, but for CI, and we wanted something for CD, continuous delivery, or continuous deployment. So that's why we eliminated those, the first two, Jenkins, Circle CI, Concourse, CodeFresh, GoCD, in the beginning. So this was, it was not quick, but we decided to not to to continue with these tools. But some of those we are still using for CI, like Jenkins or Circle CI. Second, elimination and more complex features, important key features we were looking for, and vote integration, native cloud or Kubernetes deployment, automated rollback, Terraform and Ansible integration, and Argo CD and Urban Code Deploy were not the right tool for that. So they were eliminated also. And we arrived with our finalists, Harness and Spinnaker. It was tough. The competition between those two took a few weeks, many weeks, because we were testing. We already knew Spinnaker, and we had to discover Harness. And the team came on site and helped us to set up the pipeline. So we had to compare. We had a lot of time to compare the both tools. And as you can see, the features I put here was the key features that determine why we were moving with Harness and not Spinnaker. And no complexity. This was the first elimination feature, because Spinnaker could be a little bit complex. Intuitive user interface, continuous verification, vote integration, automated rollback, and much more, because this is just a few features I put here, but there were a lot of things we found in Harness that we didn't find in Spinnaker or in other tools, and that's why we chose Spinnaker, and we started working with Harness. We chose Harness, sorry, and we started working with Harness team on our onboarding process. So hopefully, Harness customer success team was present from day one, even in the POC. So they are very present. They are very they are available. We have a Slack channel. We can ask questions. We have weekly training in the beginning. We have weekly sessions, and we can have on-demand sessions. So they are present in our onboarding process. We are still there. We are still in the onboarding and implementation process, and we are very satisfied with this onboarding process and the way they are helping us to achieve our goals. So what will be success? What defines success for Harness inside National Bank? We will say that we have succeeded when Harness is fully integrated with our toolchain, with our CI tools, with our repositories and other tools, DevOps tools we are using. And another thing that will make this a success will be a full automation of the onboarding of new teams, because we have many teams. We cannot do it manually. So the automation is the key here, even in the onboarding process, the enrolling process. And we will say it's success when 30% of our Kubernetes and cloud deployments use Harness. This is phase one, because the target is 100% by end of 2021. So we are working on it, and we think that it's possible because the tool has a lot of capabilities, and we are just discovering every day new features we didn't see at first. So it's amazing. That's it, and we can start the questions, I think.
Great. Thanks, Paul. We got a question from Casey. Is there a reason you didn't evaluate Azure DevOps?
Azure DevOps. No specific reason, but I think some teams were trying Azure DevOps, but I can't say. We were looking for a team not because something not very linked with any cloud provider. So, but maybe Azure DevOps, I don't know very well Azure DevOps. Maybe you can do whatever deployment you can with whatever cloud or Kubernetes. I don't know, but it was not, when we started the selection, it was not in the picture.
Got it. Another question, you seem to evaluate a lot of CI and CD vendors. Just as a buyer going through that process, what was some of the key differences? Was it simply some of the claims were inaccurate? Was some of the features like what was your experience comparing CI and CD? Was it a blur? Was it straightforward? Was it confusing?
Mostly what we found was that CI tools trying to do CD were not doing the CD very well, or it added complexity, and we didn't want to have everything in one tool. We wanted to separate CI tools from CD tools, and some lacking let's say features also, like blue-green deployment. Many CI tools, they don't have those the deployment strategies implemented or native, and you have to fix it yourself or to create some specific scripts or something like that. And that's why we wanted to make sure that the tool is fully focused on CD first, not CI and CD.
Got it. And another question from Peter: was there any limitations with Circle CI of why they were eliminated in phase one? Anything specific you can remember?
In Circle CI is used inside the bank for CI. It's still used, and we didn't want to use it for CD also, because it's a CI tool, I think, mostly CI. It can do CD like Jenkins. Jenkins you can deploy also. You can do whatever you want, but reporting, for example, just application management, for example, to know what was deployed and when, just something, a quick overview of what was deployed or what is going on in the deployment part without having to manage the CI, the builds, and whatever is also going on the platform. We wanted to focus on something specific for CI. That's why all the CI tools were eliminated at first, because we wanted a global overview of the CD inside the bank in one tool, and also something with the deployment strategies, Vault integration, and other criteria.
Got it. And another question from Andres is: did you consider any enterprise Spinnaker solutions? So was it just purely based on your experiences with Spinnaker internally, or did you reach out to any other kind of service providers for Spinnaker?
We were working with a company providing Spinnaker, enterprise Spinnaker, and we almost signed with the company. We almost, signed a contract with them, and that's why I told you before that we were quite advanced with Spinnaker. We knew the product very well inside the bank, and we also started working with that company. We had a training. We started the onboarding process, but the problem was when we presented. In fact, we are a DevOps team. When we presented Spinnaker and what we wanted to do with it and how we wanted to use it, and it looked very complicated for the dev team, the product teams, and it's not. And the user interface is just. I don't know if it was improved since last year, but it was lacking a lot of things. You have to do, but it was okay because we could manage to implement the pipelines as code and whatever. But it was just the tool was not for us compared to other tools and what we were looking for, and some features were missing, like Vault integration, like
Great.
Yeah.
We got another question around change advisory, so kind of incorporating change management approvals. How did you introduce that as part of the CD solution? Was there integrations? Like, how did you solve change advisory board?
Could you say again, because maybe I didn't understand the
Yeah.
question.
So the approval of getting code from development into production typically goes through a change approval process.
Yes.
What does that process look like?
Right now, we are using Jira, so Atlassian tools, and the approvals are in Atlassian, and we are using also other tools for the change management part. But the goal is to automate the process. That's also why we need a product that has integration with those change management tools.
Got it. Another question by Casey. What was your training plan to get all relevant employees to be fully productive? Besides the group training, was the specific training courses? Was it in-house? How did the training process kind of get rolled out?
In-house, and with the support of our next customer success team, I think. Yeah.
And I mean, how many people have gone through that, would you say, today?
Sorry, say again?
How many people have gone through the training process today?
We are, in fact, right now we don't have not yet the full capacity. We are not using the application at its full capacity. We are in the implementation phase, and we plan with our success team. We already have maybe 10 or 12 people trained, and but we plan to have much more people. We have gained expertise in the application. We will handle the first training with the teams, and we will have also Ernest help us for the much more complete training. So this is it's still in the future. It's still what we target for this year. Yeah.
Got it. Another question: did you face any pushback from second and third line of defense within the bank? Was there any of the teams that kind of pushed back on the process of implementing continuous delivery?
You still have those the pushbacks, and but you know, when you present the the criteria, and you explain, okay, we don't have everything we want in this tool, and we have to choose one. We have to select the tool that can perform this better, and especially with continuous verification, we didn't find that machine learning, we didn't find it in other tools, for example. So this is a key feature that mostly the people say, okay, this will help us to improve our full automation and zero delay deployment and automated rollback. So the tool has the features we want, and we will not have any issue to convince the people to adopt it. So
got it. Question on Jenkins. So you were, I think, using Jenkins previously. What was the reason not to continue that with continuous delivery?
Jenkins is used because we are still in, as I said, in implementation process. So this is just the beginning for us, right? So as I said, most Kubernetes and cloud deployments use Jenkins, but there were some key features missing in Jenkins, and like Vault integration, reporting, and you can do it. We do it with Jenkins. We do some deployment, but it's not complete. It's not the tool that we can continue to use, because we really want to move forward. And we don't. If you want to perform blue-green deployment, you have to do it yourself. I don't know. Maybe there are plugins now, but even with plugins, it's not the same game with a tool that has those functionalities integrated natively. It's not the same thing. Yeah. So there were missing features in Jenkins that led us to choose to go for another CD tool.
Another question: how customizable is Harness based on your experiences?
It's first, the user interface is very, very friendly, and it has a lot of features. We are still discovering features, and so it's I think you will see the difference. You can try it, and you will see right away the difference with a tool like Jenkins or other tools, and you can start a deployment in a few minutes. I think if you want to deploy, specifically for Kubernetes, we were bluffed with the rapidity. We could create our first workflow to deploy in Kubernetes. So the user interface is not the issue, and you can use the connection with Git to use the infrastructure as code. So that's great.
Got it. And customizable in terms of extending or configuring it for different use cases. Have you had any experience with that?
We have started, and we have not had so far the necessity to. Okay, in terms of features, we have requested a few features, for example. So they are in development. Some features have been delivered, and so it's. I think the team is very, very open to listen to the customers, and yeah, we work with them if we need a feature, and that helps us to improve our automation processes. They are open, and we have requested some features, and some of them are already delivered, and just a few are still in progress. So we can customize with honesty, with the help of honesty.
Okay. And just finally, what tips would you give to other kind of customers and teams in your position who are looking at continuous delivery? What's kind of like the few takeaways you had from the experience?
In fact, it depends on what you are looking for. Some small teams, I don't know, maybe they can be satisfied with tools like Jenkins, but we are a bank, and we have a lot of projects, and we want something. We want to have a standard in our deployment processes, and could do it with Jenkins, but we don't want to customize every pipeline depending on the project we are working on. We wanted something we can use across multiple teams. And so when you are looking for a CD project, CD tool, it depends on what you are looking for. And if you are looking for a complex tool, you will find some in the market. But if you are looking for a tool that will help you achieve the automated deployments and continuous verification very quickly, you will find the features also in Harness, for example, or maybe in other tools, I don't know. But you have to try the tools yourself, I think, if you want to have a good understanding of the tool and compare. And we had the selection methodology. We used it. We tried to use it, and it took us 3 months. And maybe it would take you less or more. I don't know, depending on what you are looking for. But take your time and call the vendors, I think. And I can tell you only. So for Spinnaker, we contacted the vendor and we paid the training before we could have the team on site. For Harness, they came on site without us paying anything, and we started right away with the trial, and we could with the trial accounts continue our selection process. So you have to try the product yourself. You have to call the vendors and maybe have them come on site and start a POC. And, yeah, try everything until you get what you are looking for. And yeah.
Great. Thanks, Paul, for sharing your experience. Back to you, Charlene. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, I had to take myself off mute there. Sorry about that. Great. Well, guys, thanks so much for a great presentation. Lots of really good information. Do want to remind the audience real quick that today's event has been recorded. So if you missed any or all of it, or if you just want to watch it again, you'll have the opportunity to do so. Following today's webinar, we are going to be sending out an email that contains a link to access the webinar on demand. And the webinar is also going to be living on the devops.com website, so you can always go look for it there. Just go to devops.com/webinars, look in the on-demand section, and it should be right there waiting for you. Okay, before we close things out, I do want to do the drawing for the 4 Amazon gift cards. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do that. Our 4 winners today are KCW, sorry about that. Congratulations, Casey. Dan J, congratulations, Dan. Jeff B, congratulations, Jeff. And finally, Michael G, congratulations, Michael. Please check your inbox for information on your Amazon gift cards. If you don't see it in your inbox, please check your spam filter. I guess that's about it. Paul and Steve, thank you very much for a great presentation. Really, really enjoyed it. Lots of great information, lots of great questions too. So I want to thank the audience also for joining me and for such great questions. This is Charlene O'Hanlon, and I am signing off. Have a great day, everybody. Please stay safe.
Thank you.
Thanks.